This right here is an Irish twist on a classic electric lemonade. Let me show you how to make it. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt, I'm the whiskey nerd, and like I said, this week I'm making an electric lemonade, but with a different twist than you might be expecting, because I'm going to be using Pangur Irish Poitín. Now, if you're not familiar with Pangur Irish Poitín, I did a review earlier this week and I'll put a link to that up there. There'll also be a link down in the description which you can check out afterwards. But long story short, Poitín is kind of like an unaged whiskey. You can think of it, it's not exactly like an unaged whiskey, but that's pretty close. It focuses on the flavors you get from grains, how that is distilled, and how those flavors from the grains travel forward into the spirit at the end of the day to allow you to use those flavors in just drinking it neat or in cocktails. And Killowen, the company behind this, definitely did focus on the flavors for this. Now, full disclosure, they did send me this bottle a few months ago because I entered into a cocktail competition because they wanted to find out different ways people would use the Pangur Poitín in different recipes. They didn't ask me to make videos about it, they didn't ask me to kind of publicize it or to make this video, but in the interest of full disclosure, I was sent this a few months ago, and as you can see, I do enjoy using this because it is a very nice and adds a lot of flavor to different cocktails. So I'll be making an electric lemonade today, which is one of those cocktails that, for me at least, brings back memories of college because it's sweet, because it has the soda, it's got the blue curacao, it's got lemon, it's got sugar, and it has vodka normally, but I'll be using Pangur Poitín because that does add a nice bit of flavor. But if you checked out my review, you'll know it also has this kind of lemony, citrusy flavor coming through that I think pairs really well in this kind of fun cocktail. So that's enough talking, let's get to making our cocktail. It is going to be made in a shaking tin because we are going to give it a quick whip shake just to make sure everything gets nicely chilled and nicely mixed. So we're going to pop a nice rock of ice in there, and then we're going to start off with our ingredients. So we're going to go in with 45 ml or 1.5 ounces of our Pangur Poitín, which is going to give us a nice, like I said, nice base of flavor into the cocktail, but it's still going to be kind of neutral enough that it's not going to overpower and it's not going to make this into a cocktail that you don't really want to drink. Next up, we're going to go in with 30 ml of our lemon juice. This is freshly squeezed lemon juice. Always use it if you can because it does add a nice bit of flavor into your cocktail. And then 10 ml, just 10 ml of our sugar syrup. We're only going in with 10 ml because we'll be adding a bit of blue curacao later, and that does add a lot of sweetness to the cocktail. If you like really sweet cocktails, you might put in a little bit more sugar, but me, I like tasting the flavors. I like tasting the lemon, so I only go in with about 10 ml. So pop the top on, and we're going to shake this just for about 10 seconds just to make sure everything is nicely mixed. Okay, I think that is nicely chilled, so we're going to pop the top off our cocktail shaker, and then we're going to go ready to strain it out into a glass. So we just got a nice tall highball glass here filled with ice because we do want this cocktail to be nice and cold, and we're just going to pour it in. So this is going to be the base of our cocktail in there, and then we're going to add just a little bit of lemon soda to kind of add a little bit of length, add a little bit of extra sugar, and just kind of bring it all together. Now I'm going to be using San Pellegrino lemon soda, but you could use Fanta lemon, you could use any soda you want, again depending on how sweet you want it, but I like the kind of natural flavor you get with the San Pellegrino, so I'm just adding just a little splash in there almost to the top, and that'll help lengthen our cocktail, add a little bit more sugar and a little bit more lemon, because we're going in now with our blue curacao. Now blue curacao, it's essentially just triple sec, like an orange liqueur that has a little bit of blue colouring or a lot of blue colouring in it, and that's going to give us a lot of sweetness and make this into that kind of electric lemonade which we all know. So we're just going to drizzle this over the top and we're going to bleed it through the ice just like that, and that's going to give us that kind of classic look of the electric lemonade. And then to finish off our cocktail, we're just going to pop a nice simple straw in there and a little bit of a lemon wheel over the edge, and that right there is a twist on an electric lemonade. And real quick, before I taste this cocktail, if you're new here, scroll down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. I put out whiskey and poitín reviews on Wednesdays. I put out cocktail recipes on Fridays, so if you want to see more, make sure you hit subscribe. Cheers. Oh, that's very sweet. That reminds me of college days where you get these kind of really sweet, really sugary cocktails, but behind that you do get the earthiness from the poitín coming through. So if you watch the review of the poitín, you'll know It has this kind of earthy floral note with a little bit of kind of licorice coming through at the end, and that does make its way through into the cocktail. That's why I wanted to use the San Pellegrino. That's why I didn't use too much sugar, because I didn't want to drown out the flavor of the Pangur, and it comes through really, really well. Yeah, it's just a very nice, simple cocktail. I mean, it's a bit of fun, but using poitín instead of vodka, you can bring in new flavors, you can bring in new dimensions, and maybe make a college favorite into something you might enjoy more as an adult. What do you think? Are there any other classic vodka or kind of gin cocktails that I should try to recreate and improve by using poitín? Let me know down in the comments below, because I'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, I'm going to keep on enjoying this, and I will see you next time. Sláinte.